Hey, how are you doing today? I'm glad to see you. I'm Pam Schmidt, if you don't know me, but I think you do. And I have a very wonderful friend here with me today, Bronwen I.
I do
And
have a
before
hard
we
name.
do that, and I stumbled on the other part. And before we do that, though, I want to do some quick housekeeping. I just want to say to you, you need to stay to the end because I have a very wonderful gift for you, a little surprise for you. So you have to hang to the end, okay? So, Bronwyn, welcome. I'm glad to see you here today. What's up?
I'm excited to talk to you. I think that what we're talking about today is really important. I think I'm a nut for mind stuff and emotion stuff and energy stuff and physical stuff and I'm excited about you coming and speaking at the Rejuvenate You event and that is just so you know that is in August if you want to come. Stay to
I
the
can't
end for a
wait.
surprise about that. And yeah, me too. I'm excited. So today, let's go ahead and do you want to put that little
Yeah.
here we go. Let's talk about this question. How do fragrances impact your health and emotions? You've been talking a lot about fragrances. You're bringing this knowledge of fragrances that hurt and fragrances that help to our event because it's everywhere, right? So
Yeah.
why don't we start by I'm going to start with asking this first question because I really want to shine the spotlight on you. Is it okay if I take over?
Yeah.
It's not to take over the conversation.
Sure.
Isn't that what I do? I want to know what fragrances, just like 2 or 3 fragrances that or stuff that has fragrance in it that is actually causing some pretty basic things that most people are dealing with in their families, in their body.
Just everyday kind of products that are impacting us, air fresheners. And
Mm.
if we carry that a little further, those things that we just are spraying all over the place because we think we're killing germs, there's always a fragrance to it because that's
Mm.
what convinces you that you're cleaning. And the fragrance really gets into your body, past your lungs. It goes from your lungs and into your bloodstream. And from there, it goes into your organs and brain. Well, in there, it messes up the hormones.
Mm.
And, hormones are more than just the sex hormones. I mean, you have a lot of them. They can be metabolism and thyroid, day night,
Mm.
growth and repair, and blood sugar levels. There's so many, and they do get messed up. They have to be balanced, and they get imbalanced when there's these fake artificial fragrances that are going through our
Yeah.
bloodstream.
Yeah, I used to use something, what was that called? Febreze,
Hmm.
Febreze to put into the air and to put onto my furniture and stuff. And then I started noticing that I didn't like feel good if I was near it. I'm like, I don't like this stuff anymore. That can't be good for my family. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But what's in that? Do you know what's in that?
They do have some chemicals that typically show up in these fake fragrances. The key one that you might have been hearing and reading about lately is phthalates. That's
Mhm.
PHTHALATS, spelling test.
Woo!
Those those are true endocrine disruptors. If you're reading a label, you might not even see the word phthalates show up because our companies are allowed to list just the word fragrance in the label, and that can hide a cocktail of up to 100 ingredients for
Oh
one
my
product.
goodness. Oh my
And
goodness.
these are those lab, chemicals that really will mess up our systems as good as they smell.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm a fragrance fiend. I'm starting to say I was or still am a fragrance addict. I
Mm.
just didn't I thought that was part of everyday life. And
Oh,
so
really?
I still miss I've really cut back, and what I use is much more natural. but I miss it. If I'm out for my walk and the neighbors are doing all the laundry stuff and it's fragranced and it's floating through the neighborhood, I take
Mm,
a couple of deep breaths.
yes, I love the smell of fabric softener too. Like, oh, they're doing the laundry. My laundry doesn't smell like that, but that's okay. You know, I have the essential oils.
Yeah. There are
The-
things you can do, the little wool balls that you put in the
Mhm.
dryer to help with static, and you can, in the last few minutes, add some essential oil to it to kind of give it a more natural fragrance. I'm
Yeah.
going that direction much more.
Well, I'm really, really curious about what kind of emotional, like, what are some of the syndromes or whatever, what are some of the things that are happening in people in their, as a result of, I know that a lot of things are impacting people, but you've done a lot of research. These things are impacting people. What is it causing in children and, families?
When our bodies have this imbalance, like we're talking about, the hormones will tend to surge at times. And so
Mhm.
you might, be running low on a hormone, but then all of a sudden there's this blast. So,
Mhm.
it could come out in anxiety and emotional struggles. It could show up in exhaustion,
Mhm.
because the growth hormone is a hormone. This can impact our growth and repair when we injure something, but it also
Mhm.
can greatly injure or impact children because they're needing those growth hormones. They're constantly going through all of this change. In addition to that, especially for children, there's the whole developmental brain power that needs all of the hormones to keep going, to keep growing. There's the sexual hormones that kids are, you know, processing so that
Yeah.
they can get to puberty at the right time and not,
Mhm. Not too
premature or
early.
delayed. But most of the time these days, children are going through premature puberty, much younger than ever
Yeah.
before. So that impacts health. There was something floating through my mind that just kind of went pew.
Well, I'll just interject. I'm really curious about, um, I want to know exactly what is endocrine and what happens when endocrine is disrupted.
The endocrine system is the group of glands and hormones throughout the body, and there are different organs that put out different hormones.
Mhm.
And those hormones, like I said, can impact, blood sugar and day-night and metabolism and sexual development. And there's so many. It's like I start forgetting them along the way. But even
But a
even
lot.
emotions such as, happiness depend on hormones, and that's your specialty. The
Yes, I like somebody, I can't remember who said it, but they go around talking about the daily dose, dopamine, oxytocin,
Mhm,
serotonin, endorphins, and
mhm,
you gotta have your daily dose. And um, with all of the blue lights and everything, are how important it is to have melatonin be regularly produced at the right times of night, for your body. And that keeps getting interrupted because of all of the, blue lights and stuff. But do you know how does fragrance affect melatonin sleep habits?
that's something I need to look at, but I know it is a hormone, the
Yeah.
melatonin. And so, if it makes sense to me that if you're blasting your pillow with Febreze before you go to bed, this is going to send this alert to
Mhm.
the body. And most of the time, because it's so synthetic, it's going to just cause you to be more wakeful instead of, resting and slowing down your body.
Yeah.
So,
Not energized, by the way. Just like when it was me, my experience with this, it was heavy and restless
mhm,
and like couldn't think as straight and, kind of brain foggish
mhm.
stuff. And fragrances are going up into your nose, right to your brain. So this is affecting the brain, which is going to affect how, like, this is this domino effect that I see, and how I see it. We've got to detox and keep these things minimized, because when we don't feel good, then we start picking on ourselves for not being as productive as we want to be, not having hopes and dreams, and just like existing through our day, which feels really yucky, right? And then we kind of pick on ourselves more for doing that, and what's wrong with me and all of this. And it really ends up being just environmental. And then you have to clean up all the stuff that caused in you, because you're picking on yourself, right? And so you like lock in some of these really limiting beliefs about yourself being lazy or whatever, but you're just not feeling good. You're foggy, right?
I agree completely. And I think there is too, when a person is addicted to fragrance, you think that's part of what you need to get yourself geared up for work, for a date, for whatever. And so, you spray that on. Well, it's a false pep up. It's a false alert in the body. And if let's say you're on a date, first date, and you do something like that, eventually that gets into the brain and you are foggy. You're not at your best. You're not able to gauge the other person and see if this is a good fit. Unwise decisions could just follow afterwards.
Right.
It's important that we free ourselves from these chemicals. And it definitely feels to me like in the last couple of years, more people are becoming aware of the potentials and the synthetics in their life, and they're just trying to get free from it.
Yeah, and you're going to be talking about solutions, right? I know I saw some of Pam's presentation the other day, and she is bringing like, here is list. So you got handouts prepared to give out, right? Here are the list of things to look for in the ingredients on things, but also remembering that this could be in any one of these could be in the cocktail labeled fragrance. So you want to look for, and that's important awareness, right? You need that awareness at the very least. But let's talk about like one solution that you recommend for sure. And we're going to do stuff together at the event, but one solution that is good for people to replace, and easy, and you know what I mean, that people actually use. What would you recommend?
The one thing that you could do that would impact everybody in your home is to improve the air quality in your home. And you can do this by, first of all, getting rid of those synthetic plug-ins and air fresheners. And I don't know if they still make them, the gel things with the cap, and you let it slowly wear down. Those kinds of things. Or even the powder, I don't know if they still do it, powder you put on the floor to vac stuff up, but it has all that floral.
Yeah, I used to use that too.
So, Febreze and all of that, cut back on that. That's going to improve your air quality in your house. And what you can do is make a daily practice. If the weather's good outside or the air quality's good outside, open your windows, air out your house for, a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes a day. For us, there are some seasons when the air quality outside is not so good. So you're not proving much. So I would then, run my air purifier. Get yourself a quality air purifier and move it throughout the house if you need to. Work on something like that. And then if you can if you still need fragrance, bring in the natural ones. If you're working in the kitchen and the cleaner has this fragrance, I bought Mrs. Meyer's soap, and it was, lemongrass, I think. And I thought it'd be natural. It read natural on the label. It said fragrance, but even if it says natural fragrance, sometimes
it's a cocktail.
Yeah, it's the cocktail made to smell like lemongrass. And when I used this Mrs. Myers, I was coughing and sputtering for about an hour.
Mhm.
So, you can replace that. Even simple vinegar water solution will take care of it. A hydrogen peroxide wipe down on the counter will help take care of the germs and stuff. Yes,
I
you
love
don't.
it. You just said hydrogen peroxide. I need to get some of that and use that because that's so inexpensive. I don't
It's
know. Is it still
very.
inexpensive now after what happened over the last couple of years?
I don't think so. I think
I
it's
guess
very
so.
inexpensive, and it bubbles and takes care of stuff. You can leave it for a few minutes, and I still have a kitchen counter with grout, so if I just put it in there and let it sit a few minutes, whoop, it takes
Nice.
care of. Yeah,
Oh, that's such a good solution. I love that.
yeah,
Thank you. I'm gonna do
yeah.
that.
And I did confirm it with a specialist that I saw. I said I had some mold in my CPAP machine, and I was on a trip and I just wiped it down with some hydrogen peroxide. And she said, that is excellent for getting rid of germs and bacteria and mold.
And
So,
mold. So, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. I'm
yeah.
totally gonna get some and use that. I don't keep a lot of that around. Thank you,
No,
though. I'm so
and
excited.
it's very, a lot of the solutions that take away the toxins can be simple grocery store items, baking soda, vinegar,
Mhm.
combine them. That's powerful.
I
And
know,
then,
bubbly in the toilet.
yeah. And hydrogen peroxide. There are some simple solutions, and then there are other things that I like that require purchase, but they go a long way.
Mhm.
So, the fear of expense in reducing toxins, it doesn't have to be the case. It can be done pretty
Right,
easily.
right. And I think a lot of people know they're going to be buying something, right? So I don't think I've tried going. We went we had this forcibly pushed on us that we had to go without buying a lot of things for a while, and it doesn't get clean. Like it's really hard. Even we had NORWEX cloths, and there were still other things that we needed. So,
Mhm.
um, should we tell people what NORWEX cloths are for?
Yeah.
Because that's a whole other topic, but just
I
just briefly, what are they? What are they? What do they
I
do?
love NORWEX cloths. They are microfiber, but they're way better than what you get at the grocery store or at the Dollar Tree, because the threads are a lot finer, very fine, finer than your hair, and they have micro silver woven into them, and that silver allows the cloth, after you've picked up the grime and the bacteria and stuff, the silver self purifies the cloth within 24 hours. So I
Yeah,
do a lot of my cleaning around the house with just the cloth that's been wet with water, and I don't have to use chemicals for a lot of the cleaning I do.
nice. I like to we've cleared up pink eye with them and all kinds of goodies. I love those
Wow.
things. Yeah, we that's how we clear up the infections on the surface infections at our house.
Yeah.
So, okay, back
And
onto
if that sounds weird to you, just keep in mind that silver has been used
yeah, like
for healing for a long, long hundred years.
yeah,
So it's well known for its healing properties.
yeah. Look up colloidal silver if you
Mhm.
don't have frame of reference on that. But
Mhm.
okay, I really want to know what you think of diffusing essential oils into the air. But before I said hold that thought, I want to tell you because I think you'll be proud of me. I started with one plant when we moved into this place when one of this kind of plant. I had two plants. Okay. When we moved in here, almost we're going on 4 years now. And I have like 23 plants now or something like that. Yeah,
Oh.
because they make them make babies. And I did it specifically because I wanted fresh air in my house,
Mhm.
and it does the trick. So for those of you who I'm excited because at our event, this idea came to me the other day. I'm like, I love these little plants. Yay, yeah. I'd have the philodendrons. They're hard to kill.
Oh.
So they're really easy to keep alive. But at our event, I'm going to be giving a plant that, and teach you how to make babies out of it to those who take advantage of one of our scholarships. So I'm excited about sharing my plants. So good. So yeah.
Lovely. That was, I think that's what flitted past me and I forgot to say was if you're
Plants.
improving your house air quality, get some plants, and there's emotional benefits in having them besides the air purifying quality. And, this one little plant won't take care of the whole, not even the room. So, you need a little bit more, but
they feel so good. It makes you so happy. And you could put them in. I just started doing a little feng shui because I like experimenting, and it has been really good. The energy really is, it feels open and flowing. I have my little money corner over there, and it is just with all of my viney abundant plants. That's a good, if you like feng shui and you want some abundance corner, it doesn't only have to be money in the corner. It can be something abundant, So, okay, back on essential oils diffuser. What are your thoughts?
I love essential oils. They've got to be quality. I would say if you're spending $4 for a little bottle, it's probably not quality. Mm-hmm. And then, it's a question of whether synthetics have been added to it or poor quality carrier oils. So you need to really look at getting quality oils, and then you can use them for cleaning, for diffusing. And diffusing means you have a little machine that you put some water and the oil in most of the time, plug it in, and it just kind of bubbles up and it comes out in a mist that can go throughout the room. I do that a lot.
Nice.
We had some stink under our kitchen sink, and so I just pulled the diffuser under there and just diffused for about 3 days, to purify that area.
Did you do like lemon?
I did the Purify blend by doTERRA because I would have done one of those like lemon, but this one I just really needed to get rid of that stink. It was bothering me.
Yeah. Do I remember right? Your Trash the Toxins kit has lemon in it, right?
Yes, lemon, lavender, and peppermint come in my Trash the Toxins kit, because there are so many ways you can use those 3 around the house, even for a fragrance for yourself. If you need a little pick-me-up, I have my little bottle here, and you just take a little sniff. This is peppermint. And, it's so good. So good.
She's like, I love it.
I know.
I'm a eucalyptus girl.
Oh,
love that.
And for me, citrus. You would know. Yes. I would do citrus.
Citrus. I know, California girl. Also, I think, go ahead.
That's something that I am so interested in is at the event, we're going to be comparing lemon with a lemon scented synthetic fragrance product, because not only does it clean differently, but the smell and what it does for the emotions is just,
and you can tell right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with lemon, it's invigorating, and like I like orange too. Like the wild orange makes me happy.
Yes.
Have a sniff and it's like, woo.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
I know.
So good. So, well, awesome. I'm satisfied. That was good stuff. Do you have a surprise for people?
I do. Let me do this, and I want to show you this. I have discounted tickets for the event that Bronwen and I are talking about, and this is August 4, 5, and 6 in Murray, Utah. It's our Rejuvenate You event, and it's the second one we're having, and this one's longer, and this one I get to do some talking.
Yes, we have 8 sponsors coming, 8 healers coming to bring their different things. There's so many angles to look at healing, and people are ready for something different the whole time. And then we come in and so like emotional support here, and here's all this physical awesome stuff, and there's relationships and all kinds of stuff. So Pam's representing this physical need that can't be overlooked. I feel like I come from a world where it's like all or nothing on one or the other, right? It's either all the way over here on the physical stuff or all the way over here and trying to rely completely on energy stuff and, all by itself. But you need this physical counterpart to support your body, because everything needs to be reverse engineered and supported as you heal. So there's no separating those two things. It's always, they're totally intertwined all the time. So,
So
yeah.
I have these discounted tickets, and what it is, usually it's $297 for the event. I have tickets for $100 plus a VIP upgrade, and you got to contact me before June 18. And so what you'll see in the ribbon or the banner down below is you can message me or you can email me for that info, because I would love to get that ticket in your hands. And if you have a friend, all the better.
Yes. And we'll get you manually registered. And the VIP upgrade is normally $150. We're doing a 2-hour dinner session, and I'm just bringing it with the inspiration to help you connect with your body. And simply, especially if you're numb. I mean, this is important. And especially if you like to turn to food to try to feel better. And then we're also talking about the law of increase and the law of the tithe and how to put that into play in your life if you're struggling with money. So we're going to be talking about that together. We're going to be eating together. Yes, I'm totally dairy free and gluten free. So you betcha we're going to be covering that. And then I know a lot of people need vegan or like, what's that other one? My brother does it. Keto friendly. We'll just make sure you're taken care of. The food will be very carefully chosen so that everybody can eat. So, and I'm throwing that in as long as you RSVP. You need to grab your ticket from Pam and RSVP so she can send me the email. I need proof that you're really going to be there for all 3 days, and then I'll throw in that VIP upgrade for you. Okay.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, I appreciate the time that we got to spend together, and I hope the rest of you learned a little something. It's important.
Good. Yeah, these things really, there are things we can do to get the brain fog to go away. This is good stuff.
Just improve that air quality in your house. So, and then your emotions are going to be ready for the healing and the joyfulness that you need for a happy, healthy life.
Indeed. Thank you, Pam. This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And everyone, goodbye. Message me. Bye.